Hello everyone, hope you are all fine and doing well. Our today's topic is procurement methods. So first of all, let's to know about the procurement methods. Procurement methods are formal, rule-based sourcing approach that govern the end-to-end process of acquiring goods, services, or works from external suppliers. They define how requirements are structured, how suppliers are invited to participate, and how contracts are ultimately awarded. These methods are designed to uphold key principles such as transparency, procedures, uh, procedural fairness, cost efficiency, and value for money. By standardizing the sourcing process, they ensure consistency, accountability, and defensibility in procurement decisions. This is the procurement method definition. So, main procurement methods. There are some methods that are using in procurement, and every organization or entity are required to follow these methods. Number one, open tendering or competitive bidding. This is the most common, transparent, and preferred method, especially for public sector and high-value contracts. The buyer publicly advertises an invitation to tender or request for proposal, and any qualified supplier can submit a bid. There is something that, when we want to have a transparent process, so we need to advertise our procurement process through open tendering. This is a common and well-known open tendering method that are used in any organizations or entities. Base for this is a base for large, standardized, high-value purchases. Example: office supplies, construction of a public road, or IT hardware. There is something for open tendering for pros and cons. There is a process of open tendering maximizes competition, reduces risk of favorism, ensures transparency, and there is a cons as well for this. Can be slowly and administratively expenses. These are the pros and cons of open tendering. The second one is restricted or selective tendering. The buyer are pre-qualify a short list of suppliers, example 5 to 10, and invite only them to submit bids. This is often a two-stage process: a public call for expressions of interest, then an invitation to the pre-qualified few. Base 4: complex, specialized, or high-risk project where technical capability is critical, example defense systems, major infrastructure. Pros: reduces evaluation time, ensure only capable suppliers participate, better for complex negotiation. And cons for restricted selective tendering is less transparent than open tendering, can limit competition and innovation. So when we use restricted or selective tendering, when commonly when there is the restrict or limited supplier in the market, they are the maximum up to 10 suppliers in the market. When there are limited supplier in the market, we are required to use or to follow the restricted or selective tendering because the limited suppliers in the market. The third one is request for proposals or RFP. Used when the solution is not fully defined, the buyer outlines a problem or need, and suppliers propose how they would solve it, including methodology, team expertise, and pricing. Evaluation is often based on base value, technical score, or plus price, not just the lowest price. Based for consulting services, software development, marketing, campaigns, research projects. So there are pros and cons for this method as well. So let's to know them. Pros encourages innovation and tailored solution allows for negotiation. Cons more subjective to evaluate takes longer time requires scale evaluators. So when we use the RFUs when the specification or the requirements are complex and not clear or well defined. So in that case, we use RFP method. The most using the RFP is used most in consulting or consultancy services. And the fourth one is two-stage tendering. This combines elements of restricted tendering and RFP. In stage one, suppliers submit initial non-binding technical proposals and rough pricing. The buyer selects the best concepts and works with the chosen suppliers to refine the specification. In stage two, the refined solution goes to a final binding price based bid. So based for very complex, novel, or design and build project. Example, a new type of power plant, custom software platform. For this method, there are pros and cons as well. Pros, collaboration reduces risk, ensures a visible solution, good for complex specs. Cons, time consuming, requires high trust, least competition in final stage. So let's clear it in the two-stage tendering. Uh, the two-stage tendering is used most in consultancy services because when suppliers or bidders are consultant submit their technical offer and financial offer. So the evaluation committee start the technical evaluation first, and after the finalizing the technical evaluation, so uh, the financial evaluation process is initialized, and the financial process is only applicable when the shortlisted suppliers are passed in the technical step or in the technical stage. So finally, we can say that into stage tendering, so the bidder or the consultant shall pass both tendering stage, like financial and technical. Request for quotation or RFQ. This is the very simple method of an procurement method because when we use the RFQ method when the requirement or specifications are simple and not complex or complicated. Let's define that. A simple informal method where the buyer requests fixed price quotes from a small number, example 3 to 5 of known suppliers for a clearly specified low risk product, as well as I said. Base for off-the-shelf goods with low value, example office chairs, printer, standard software licenses. So for this method, there are pros and cons as well. Pros, very fast, low administrative cost. Like RFE is a very simple process. It is completed within a few time. It doesn't require more or long time for implementation or completion of the process, and it costs most low administrative cost. Cons, less competitive, can miss better supplier risk of favorism. There is a cons as well because it will result the least competition and will raise the risk of favorism as well. The sixth one is single sourcing or direct award. In this process, the buyer purchases directly from a predetermined supplier without competition. This is rarely allowed in a public procurement and must be strictly justified. Valid justification: only one supplier exists. Example: patent, trademark. Emergency: example: disasters recovery. Follow on contract for a compatible system. Previously competitive process. And for single sourcing, when there is a one supplier in the market, or there is an emergency situation like a flood disaster or something else that needs the direct or single sources, and there is the open tendering process is not applicable. So there is are pros and cons for this method as well. Pros: extremely fast, effective for true emergencies or unique item. It's clear because it is implemented or completed within a few times. It doesn't require more time because we are going to contact direct with the pre-qualified or predetermined supplier. Cons: highest risk of corruption and overpricing, not price check. This is the most risk for this method because when we when we contract frequently through single source, it will raise the problem of corruption and overpricing. So in this method, we should have a very and high or proper justification for using this process. The last one is framework agreements. A framework agreement is a pre-negotiated list of supplier terms and prices for repetitive needs over a fixed period, example 2 to 4 years. Instead of a full tender each time, buyers issue a call-off from the framework using a simpler method, example mini competition or direct award. So when an organization or entity um, uh, is going to buy an item frequently, they should follow, or they should contact, or they should contract the framework agreements, because when we there is there is something like when an organization needs repetitive needs for its organization, so it doesn't require to contact open direct repeatedly. So they should contact framework agreement for 2 up to 3 years. Just they qualify or they contract with at least three suppliers. So one is strong, the second one, the third one will be backup. So just as a buyer issue a call off from the framework using a simpler method, like an organization will call off to the supplier and issue direct the PO to the contractor. Best for recurring needs like office stationery, temporary staff, IT maintenance, construction works. These activities are frequently purchased and contracted. Pros: dramatically faster than repeated tenders. Provides supply security, pre-agreed prices. So cons: can lock in suppliers for years, may stifle innovation from new entrants. This is the cons will be like when we have IT frame agreement, so we will do not have updated or upgraded IT items because the specification, the item, the price have been um, already specified, and we can't change the specification until we change or amend the framework agreement. So these were the cons for framework agreements. Hope you understood everything according to the methods of procurement. So may God bless you all and be safe. Goodbye. Bye bye.